All right, hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda back here once again on the Outlast trials. And in this video, we're going to be jumping into the second part of the Bambino special event, which has just refreshed today on Tuesday. You can see by the little exclamation point on my trial list thing here that I haven't actually looked at it yet. So we're going to be reviewing the list of trials together. Now, there wasn't actually any patch or update with this drop, so nothing to cover there, and that makes me think that, unfortunately, there's not going to be like any new doc MK, I would assume, just because I would think that would need a patch unless it already was in the game and it just wasn't available, which is also possible, so we'll have to see. But yeah, Bambino is now on part 2, and then it once again is refreshing in 13 days, and that will be refreshing to back to one of the normal weeklies, as far as I understand it. So that is what we'll be getting back to then. But for now, we have another 4 full difficulties of trials to play through. So I'll be doing the same thing of intensive and then psychosurgery as I did for part 1. It seemed I didn't really get any specific comments on what people thought in that regard, but it seemed like people just enjoyed having the videos either way. So, but if you do have any thoughts, I guess let me know in the comments. If you think it's a terrible idea and I should only do psychosurgery, then let your voice be heard down in that comment section. But anyway, without further ado, let's click View Program and see what we're up against here. Of course, same exact variator will be in play as far as for the event. Grind the bad apples, sabotage lockdown, drill the futterman, tilt the scales of justice, vindicate the guilty, foster the orphans, crush the toys, release the prisoners, and pervert the futterman. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, nothing really stand out here, I would say. Tilt the Scales of Justice is back, one of the more recently released MKs, but a decent number of short ones, honestly. Well, I guess it's a pretty good mix. Sabotage Lockdown, Release the Prisoners, obviously very short. Drill the Futterman, also quite short. Foster the Orphans, a bit RNG on the radio spawns. And then Tilt the Scales and Crush the Toys are a couple of the longer trials there as far as MKs are concerned. And then we have the main trials of Grind the Bad Apples, which I know some people don't like, so we'll see how that goes over. Vindicate the Guilty, which is generally well liked, I think, although again the tutorialization of certain aspects of it I find very annoying. And then Pervert the Futterman, which I personally just kind of don't like at all. So we'll see how that ends up going. I'm not a fan of the waiting around on the conveyor belts, but as I've been focusing on escalation, I haven't done the main trials in a while, so it won't be too bad getting back into them. And as far as variators are concerned, we are dealing with the same 3 variators that were accompanying psychosurgery last time. So part 2 has not changed the variators up either. So I'm not really sure why they made this event 2 parts like this, honestly, at the end of the day, now that I'm seeing this, because there's no event tokens that are doing anything special. So, I mean, I feel like the removal or the lack of event tokens and the way the whole event system worked for previous events kind of really takes the wind out of the sails of any future event. I mean, the catalog obviously comes with the event, technically. I mean, this is called the Project Lupara catalog, so maybe it's not even the case that every event will have a catalog. I don't know. But regardless, even if it's just a catalog that comes with the event, with the catalog, you can buy everything with stamps, which obviously stamps aren't directly related to the event in any way. You can get stamps from anything. So, yeah, that's, in my opinion, a bit of a lame thing as far as the change to this new system. The removal of the event tokens kind of really takes away any feeling of the event being a special, thing to grind. Like, there's literally no reason to play the events outside of completing the tasks unless you are a completionist type person like me and want to get all of the A+. Introductory, of course, still just normal. Standard will just have Franco Barbie, and then intensive, I assume, will again be the same, and that is going to include increased threat and limited intel, which, I mean, I don't remember what I did intensive a little while ago now. Let me check yeah, that is the same as expected. So now I guess the question is there a refreshed task list? I mean, it's kind of worrying that there's no exclamation point here. Wow, there's not even a refreshed task list for this second part of the event. That really sucks, honestly. I find that to be pretty disappointing. Okay. Well, I guess we're just going to be doing these to do them for those A pluses. That's, in my opinion, pretty sad. Avoid all sound traps during a whole trial. That's a new objective there. We have the rigs again. Cure psychosis with the heal rig 5. What is with this heal rig, bro? 3 different things for heal rig. 30 medical items again. Oh, they have one for escalation in weekly. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, overall I'm pretty disappointed with this event refresh, and I think that they should maybe reconsider the way they're doing events, since in my opinion at least the previous method was way more fun as far as the tokens were concerned. I mean, maybe some people didn't like grinding for tokens or whatever, but I feel like it just gave the events more of an exciting feel to them. And I mean, I know people are always worried about that fear of missing out type thing, but I mean, I don't know. I think, in my opinion, at least, that comes more into play in games where there's required payment for certain things. Like if this deluxe catalog was bought with event tokens that you got from the event, but also required to be bought as like a battle pass, I don't know. Like if the event stuff is all free to get as long as you play the event, and then goes away at the end. I personally had no problem with the way it was before, but now we have the catalog, and obviously, additionally, the catalog. I mean, it has some stuff related to Franco, but he's also just like the new prime asset. So I guess that maybe makes sense for it to be related to him either way, if it's for the event or just for him being the new prime asset. I don't know. I don't really have. I mean, I personally liked it better the way it was before. Personally, that's just me. But I mean, the fact that the tasks didn't refresh is really, really sad in my opinion. Especially because the ones that they have here originally are just not interesting at all. Complete 5 of the trials. When if you do all 4 difficulties, there's 36 trials to complete. And then you have to get A+ in 3 of them, which you can also do on introductory, which doesn't even include the event variator. And then throw 25 projectiles at Franco, like almost as an afterthought that they just added on there, and that's all you get. So I don't know. I'm probably just gonna upload this as a separate video now because I've rambled on for a bit, and just to give my thoughts on part 2 of the event. And I don't know. It is just, in my opinion, a bit disappointing. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments. I mean, what do you think? I think there's no objective reason they shouldn't have refreshed the task list. And then it's literally just different trials with the same variators and no real incentive to do them. Like, I don't know. Like having the tasks or the trial list refresh halfway through the event would have been a cool way to switch things up in the old token format, and then you wouldn't maybe have to grind as much on trials that you'd already done because they were going to refresh the list in this, in the middle of the event. So then you have a whole nother set of trials to complete and get the tokens from. But now, again, the tokens don't exist. And the task list could technically kind of replace the token system a little bit. Like there should be a repeatable task in here related to the event, in my opinion, that gives some stamps or something. I don't know. Because then there'd be a reason to play the event, pretty much. Like there should be some sort of repeatable task like that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the event tasks trials should give bonus stamps, or maybe they even do. I mean, you get 10 for psychosurgery, and then if I do this, you still get 10. So no, maybe they should give bonus stamps. I don't know. There should be some reason for people to log in and play the event, because I mean, the fact that it's the fact that the Franco Barbie variator is on here. I mean, it's an interesting twist, but it's not like a huge switch up in gameplay that would maybe make someone who's not interested in playing the game right now come back to play the event, right? Like they're not going to be like, oh wow, Franco is going to be in trials that he's not normally in, and is going to know my exact location, walk straight there whenever he spawns in. I'm downloading the game again. I mean, I don't know. like so far they haven't really had transformative events in general, but at least with the others, there was a reason to hop on and play them because it's like, oh, there's these new cosmetics that you can get, and the cosmetics were really cool. Like I still have in my sleep room here the cosmetics from Primetime, which have this sort of space theme, which I really like. And then, of course, I always talk about it, and many people mention it. The cosmetics from Geister were absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love the outfits that they had, and even there's that Halloween wallpaper that you got from that. I mean, that's super cool looking. And this one, yeah, these two are both from that. Geister had amazing cosmetics, and I don't know. I feel like we've somewhat lost a bit of the magic of the events with this this change. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm still gonna do the same. Again, it's the same format where I'm going to run through it on intensive and psychosurgery and give you guys my thoughts and go for those A+. But yeah, there's not a whole lot else to say, I guess, in terms of all my thoughts. So you guys can look forward to over the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be covering all of these trials on intensive and psychosurgery. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot else to say. Depending on how quickly I complete it, I will definitely maybe cover Genesis on intensive and psychosurgery as well, because I want to get those out there at some point before they switch the season back up again. Which, interestingly, Genesis has... Oh, I thought that was Deadly Prime Asset, but... And of course, Genesis has different variators than the same difficulty level of the event, where honestly psychosurgery on Genesis does seem like it's going to be way more difficult than the one in the event, because we have stronger enemies 2, high enemy density, unreliable doors. Specifically, limited items 2 is also on here for Genesis psychosurgery. So the fact that the psychosurgery variator, which so the old Ultra was more difficult because it also included limited items and things, but now they just add on additional variators on top of the psychosurgery. So the only thing that this does is have that massive extended rig cooldown, less inventory space, no player names, no intel. It doesn't have any of that additional effect that came with the old Ultra. But anyways, I'm going to stop rambling here. I'm going to end the video off and then I guess start jumping into the trials. Just a little look at my records for y'all. 691 trials completed, 3 failed. 56 deaths, 19 reagent releases, 2 escalation attempts with that 52 peak that you can see on my live stream if you're interested. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments on all of this, and I will see you later on for some more coverage of the Bambino event. All right.